Our location for the first year challenge is a playground run by the Corrams Field charity. Thomas Corram was a philanthropist who established the foundling hospital to help the poorest children of London. NGO intervention is one of the three ways of dealing with poverty, alongside state intervention and no intervention. In the past, the state has played a large role in combating poverty. Some dispute the necessity of these interventions, and so we can ask ourselves what would have happened if there had been no state intervention into poverty in the UK.
Before the Industrial Revolution, poor relief was provided by the Church. Following the dissolution of the monasteries, it became necessary to alleviate poverty through laws. The main intervention was the introduction of the Elizabethan Poor Law of 1601. It had a limited effect, but it provided essential resources to alleviate poverty.
During the Industrial Revolution, the population of the UK and other countries across Europe increased exponentially. The governmental framework to combat poverty was severely strained and was in need of reform. Consequently, the Poor Law Amendment Act was introduced in 1834. This act nationalised the welfare system, but also made it harder to receive poor relief, as the general consensus in Parliament was shaped by the Malthusian theory of the vicious circle of poverty. The government didn't want to make their welfare system an alternative to work.
If the state had refused to intervene, it is very likely that NGOs like Corrams Field would have stepped up and taken a bigger role in combating poverty. How these interventions would be funded is another question. However, a world without regulation is also imaginable. This approach is an important component of the free market ideology, where it is believed that markets are best left to themselves. According to this ideology, if state intervention was minimised, employment would be maximised, thereby combating poverty without government intervention. However, not all economists agree with this theory. Most notably, John Maynard Keynes stipulates that the economies function best when the natural economic cycles are dampened with physical impulses from the government. In other words, government intervention.
This question is a bone of contention between different schools of economic thought and a widely discussed topic worldwide, dating back to the foundations of economics.